So we are here in Colchester, and today we are going to do a video on, it's my sister, Margot Harrison. She's an author, and her third book, We Made It All Up, is coming out this summer. In fact, it's launching this week. So we're gonna go into this spooky cave.
This cave inspired the setting of my book, We Made It All Up. What I like about caves is that they're dark and spooky and hidden, like a place where dark secrets would be, but they're also a place where you can go to hide and be safe, like animals burrowing in a cave. So they kind of have that weird duality. Well, I'm not claustrophobic or anything, and I'm fascinated by caves, but it still creeps me out. And I think it's just like something hidden that kind of serves as a metaphor for all the things that we hide in our own minds and hearts. I just love to tell stories. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't have TV, I didn't have the internet, I just had books.
Why do you write spooky stories?
I think because I'm a very fearful person, I'm a very anxious person, and spooky stories give me a kind of catharsis. They help me deal with the anxiety. Being scared gives you an adrenaline rush, and afterwards you can relax. Caves make their own time. They kill phone signals. They replace all the things that normally offer clues to the hour, sunlight, birdsong, insects, with moist dirt, distant trickling, and darkness. They put you out of reach. You know, I have a lot of nightmares about cave-like spaces like this.
Why do you like to write about teenagers and young people?
Because teenagers are at this very volatile time where they're undergoing transformations in their lives, and they're trying to figure out who they actually are going to be as adults. And I'm really fascinated with that time when your childhood sort of transforms into your adulthood and the changes that you go through then. And maybe the cave could even symbolize those changes, because it's kind of like a birth canal if you think of it metaphorically. So yeah, in some ways I've probably never grown up.
Well, you seem like such a nice woman, a nice quiet woman who reads so many books. Why is it that you love all this scary stuff?
Because a lot of quiet little old ladies love scary stuff. You would be surprised.
So now I'm at my sister's house in Burlington, and we're gonna get a cribs tour of all her books. Oh yeah, she's got a lot of them.
What I love about books is that wherever you are, you can just escape into a different world.
There's a lot of paintings by my mom here. There's a cat who's hiding from us. We also used to do the Deadbeat Club. Do you remember the Deadbeat Club?
Of course. Since I was about 9 years old, I have wanted to be a published author. I remember back then I heard about like a 9-year-old published author, and I was so jealous of her. Why can't I be an author right now? This book, The Glare, just came out in paperback, and it has a really amazing new scary cover. Well, originally I started writing because I was bored. We had no TV, we didn't listen to the radio or records, there was no internet then, and so all I could really do was read. We had no neighbors, and I just loved stories, and I started writing my own stories to entertain myself, basically. Yeah, this is what I was writing when I was 8. The dark curtain of loneliness and the tears from a lonely cloud fall down and make it thicker, which is misspelled.
Well, that's pretty dark for an 8-year-old.
I'm the associate editor at 7 Days, so I edit a lot of the arts and features content, and I also write movie reviews.
So we both work for 7 Days. No conflict of interest there. And who's this book dedicated to?
It's dedicated to you, because you were the first person I shared stories with and told stories to, and you were a very difficult audience. You often just weren't that interested. I have a PhD in comparative literature, and it's something that I don't use at all, but I really enjoyed getting it because I got to read a lot of great books, and I love that reading is now like a cool thing. And that was not true when I was growing up. If you were a bookworm, you kind of hid that because it made you a nerd, and being a nerd was not cool back then. Yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, I was definitely not cool. like Celeste in my book, when she comes to this new school and she doesn't know anybody and she doesn't fit in. I did that a lot because we moved around and we moved from the city to the country. So when I moved to the country, I definitely did not fit in, did not know how to interact with people. I didn't have a catcher's mitt. You had to have a catcher's mitt. Like, I was just from a different culture. So yeah, I did get bullied. Setting and natural landscape are really important in my books. I haven't written a book that is entirely set in Vermont yet, but actually I'm working on one that is mostly set in Vermont and Burlington. Vermont is just important for me because it's such a beautiful place, and you have that setting that you can kind of sink into and immerse yourself in that I think is really nurturing for writing. Yeah, I've been doing TikTok since October, and originally I did not want to go on it. I had to be dragged kicking and screaming. Everybody told me it's really important for authors to be on Book Talk. But every week I review a vintage YA book. This is from 1982. Annie and Liza meet at the Metropolitan Museum. They're both 17 and they both love to live in imaginary worlds, pretending to be unicorns or medieval knights. I have one where it's like, buy my book, buy my book. Oh, if you buy my book, you'll find out how messed up I really am.
Right. Well, so you do not only reveal a lot about yourself in your TikTok videos, but through your books, which is very brave for a kid who was kind of shy growing up.
Well, I find kind of disguised ways to reveal parts of myself, because I don't actually get involved in murder mysteries like I write about, or with supernatural forces or anything like that. I'm working on another YA novel that is related to true crime and the true crime obsession.
You should read all of my sister's spooky books, and we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon. So I got lost in a stone hut, and then I reappeared in a cave. So there's a character in this book that reminds me a little bit of me. Does she have anything to do with me?
I really did not have you in mind when I wrote about her, but she is a little bit bossy, and that is kind of like you.